What's up, everyone? Welcome to Bulubedu Strange Things, where I share with you guys strange and mysterious stories from all over Bulubedu. Today I'm gonna be sharing with you guys a story about this lady. Well, I guess I can call her an old lady because she is a senior citizen. So this old lady spent a lot of money consulting sangomas, healers, mediums, and prophets because something strange was going on in her house and she just wanted to get some answers, and she wanted to get rid of the thing that was terrorizing her in her own home. So before I tell you about the thing that was terrorizing her in her home, I just want you to know that I post twice a day. So if you are a fan of the strange, dark, and mysterious stories, then hit like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you get notified whenever I post. So yeah, let's get to it. So this lady, she is a villager and she is a senior citizen. So I guess she spent a lot of money, which is a lot to her because she is a senior lady who is depending on her grant money. So this money that she spent, it is a lot to her. Mind you, I'm talking about the money which she spent consulting these sangomas, prophets, healers, and mediums. So what happened was this lady, one day she woke up and she found that her house was cleaned, food was cooked, everything was spotless. The food was still fairly warm. And the lady, she lives alone. The first thing she did, she checked if her door was locked. Sure enough, the door was locked. The key was still on the door from the inside, meaning there was no break-in. But then what cooked her food? Who cleaned the house? Was it a ghost? Was it a spirit? She didn't know, but she knew she had to get answers. Okay, but then since she's a senior person, she thought, no, maybe I did this and then I forgot. Maybe old age is getting the better of me. So she thought. Okay, next day, same thing happened. She wakes up, food is prepared, it's still fairly warm, the house is spotless, everything is just perfect. But the thing is, she lives alone. She doesn't know who's doing all this. So she doesn't eat the food because she's thinking maybe the food is poisoned, someone or something is trying to get rid of her. Okay, during the day, she's not at home. She goes to check out her friends. Mind you, at this point, she doesn't tell anyone about what's going on at her house because she's thinking, what if they think I'm crazy and then they get me admitted to a mental hospital, face copies and whatnot. So she doesn't tell anyone about the supernatural things she's experiencing at home. She spends the day at a friend's place. She comes back home. The house is spotless and she left it a mess. She knows that she left it a mess. The house is spotless, everything is in its place, and there's lunch prepared for her. Okay, now she's worried. She's pretty sure that something or someone is messing with her. Because initially she thought maybe she's doing these things and she forgets. But then she decided to wake up and go to a friend's place. And when she comes back, maybe she'll have clarity over everything. Okay, that's when she decided she's going to consult. She went to sangomas, healers, mediums, prophets, because she thought maybe sangomas could have some kind of answers, like maybe it's her ancestors taking care of her because they can see she's at senior moments. Old age is creeping in, they just want to take care of her. Maybe her ancestors are cooking on her behalf, doing the cleaning because she's all alone. So she goes, she consults. Everywhere she goes, they can't see anything bad coming into her life. Like they don't see any witch or any bad spirits or any bad omens entering her yard to do her any harm. So since they don't have any clarity, she goes to the next sangoma, to the next prophet, to the next seer. She even consults a medium thinking maybe it's a ghost of a relative or someone doing all these things. So she needs a medium to communicate with the people from beyond. nobody could help. They couldn't see anything which is trying to harm her in any way. And since these things, whatever or whoever was doing all these things at her house didn't want to harm her, she started eating the food that were prepared by that thing. Eventually, she got very used to having whatever that thing was around. I think it went on for like a month. She was eating, she was being treated by like a queen by this whatever entity, supernatural entity, which was living with her in her house now. But still, she couldn't see what it was. This thing would only do her its things like cleaning and cooking in her absence or when she's sleeping. Okay, this one time when she's at home, she's just sitting under her tree. It was a hot day, hot summer day. This lady comes to her place, and this woman, she immediately recognizes the lady. It's a Zimbabwean lady, and that Zimbabwean lady sold this woman something. So this Zimbabwean lady, she comes through, she greets the lady with a smile. She asks the old lady if she still remembers her. And sure enough, the lady, the homeowner, says, I do remember you. She remembers that they met at a flea market. For those that don't know what a flea market is, it's like a moving market. Like it's gonna be a street filled with people that sell various things. Vendors, they come, they display their products on the side of the streets, and then people just walk around and buying those things at fair prices. So this Zimbabwean lady, since the flea market moves around, like it could be at a certain village on the first, and then on the second it's going to the next village, and so on and so on and so on, until it rounds up and comes back to the village where it was at. So this thing you're paying, it's where all the people used to get their grant money. That's before they made these cards where people can just withdraw their grant from any ATMs or shops. So before, you would have to get in line, a queue, I mean. You get on a queue, it would be a long ass queue, and then you get your money in cash. They give you the cash. So I think this flea market thing got obsolete during the COVID-19 pandemic because people couldn't really gather. So needless to say, a lot of people lost a lot of business because for most people, the flea market was their source of income. But then I guess now it's convenient for the old people to have cards because they don't have to wake up early to beat the queue. But then it's pretty bad for the vendors because now they don't really have a place to sell their goods. Okay, now that I've given you the concept of this whole thing of where the lady and the Zimbabwean lady met, let me continue with the story. So it appears this Zimbabwean lady was selling brooms. You know, these brooms that are made out of tall grass. They're very famous in Bulobelu, and I think in other tribes as well. Use them for sweeping the yard or for even sweeping inside the house. So apparently this Zimbabwean lady is telling this old lady that I gave you my own personal broom. I'm pretty sure you've been experiencing some weird things in the house. And now it rings on the old lady that those things started happening a day after she purchased that broom. So the Zimbabwean lady sits down and explains that broom, it's her own special broom because it takes care of her. It does everything for her, and it even brings her luck and customers. So she's here to claim the broom back. So the old lady now started understanding that she wasn't going crazy. She wasn't a witch. Nobody was trying to bewitch her. That's why when she went to consult, they couldn't see anything bad happening to her. Nobody was trying to get rid of her in any way or harm her in any way. She now understood after the Zimbabwean lady's explanation that broom is a personal broom. So she gave that lady her personal broom by mistake because at this flea market, it gets very busy. You can have like 10 customers asking you a lot of questions at one time. So you just want to get this money from this one and then hand her the product and then talk to the next customer and the next customer. So during all that commotion, she handed that lady the broom, which is her own personal broom, which gives her customers. And also when she's tired from working at the flea market, the broom just cleans the house for her, cooks for her, and all that stuff. So the old lady is asking now, why did it take you so long to come and claim your broom back? Because I thought I was going crazy. So the Zimbabwean lady said, I had to go home for a month because, yeah, I couldn't really understand what had happened to my broom. And the person who made it for me was back home. So we had to track it. So, yeah, that's how she got back to her broom. That's pretty much the explanation for why this lady started seeing weird paranormal things happening at a place. And apparently, like, these Zimbabweans, this is not the first story of a Zimbabwean that actually does this kind of thing, especially from the flea market. I remember this other lady, something of this nature, like similar to this, happened to her. She bought this water heating kettle. It's huge. I guess I can call it a kettle, but in Cloveri we call it chechisa. She bought it at a flea market on credit. So since it's the first time she's meeting this Zimbabwean guy, I think he was a Mozambican. I don't really remember, but then either Mozambican or Zimbabwean. So this woman is asking this guy, so how do I get a hold of you? Mind you, that's way back. Cell phones weren't really there. It was those containers, Cell C, Vodacom containers, where you pay 90 cents to make a call for a minute. So the Zimbabwean guy tells this lady, no, don't worry. When you have the money to pay for that chechisa, for those that don't know, a chechisa, it's I don't know how to call it. Like it's a big kettle maybe made of, I don't know if I should, steel sheet. Yeah, steel sheet. Masenge. You use it to heat up water on a ground fire. So yeah, I don't really know what it's called in English. Okay, back to the Zimbabwean guy. This Zimbabwean guy tells this lady that if you've got the money to pay for it and you wanna pay me back, at your house, just put the money under a rock and just leave it there. Don't check it for like maybe a day or two. Sure enough, the lady did exactly that. She put the money under a rock. After some time, she went and checked the money and the money was gone. The next time she went to the flea market, she saw the guy again, and the guy just smiled and said, thank you for the money. Anyway, that's it for today, guys. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you get notified whenever I post. Peace.